For this adventure, we loaded up the car and scrambled off to La Jolla for a family-sized trip to kick off the Little Bug's spring break. We just got the little dude a brand new wetsuit and he was eager to break it in with some time in the sand. Meanwhile, me and the little bug headed back to La Jolla Surf Systems, where she had figured out that she'd outgrown the wetsuit that fit her 2 months prior. She was pretty stoked in her brand new wetsuit, 2 sizes bigger than her last one, so we headed off to meet up with little dude and Tiffany back at the beach. Finally, with everybody's wetsuit situation handled, it was time for me to charge out into the 1 to 2 foot La Jolla raging surf. Faced up against some pretty small, weak waves, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hop up to my feet. Sweet ankle-high victory, and the session was on. Off in the distance, I could see the kids heading out in the water to boogie. Thanks to their fresh, brand new wetsuits, they had no problem dealing with the 55-degree water, and I was spending some time trying to pull them in the waves. It's amazing how much fun these 2 kids had splashing around in the surf. It's even more fun being the guy pulling them into it, sometimes even getting run over. After about an hour, the little dude started to feel the cold, then he thought about it some more and wound up right back in the ocean. The little bug got some space away from Dad and caught a wave on the boogie all by herself. Eventually the cold caught back up with the little dude, so we took him back up to the beach, but the little bug was still trying to get crazy. So we headed off on a tandem mission on the Kalani Rob 8-foot catch surf log, on a mission to try to find some fish with her snazzy goggles. With the heavy cloud cover and my lack of goggles, we were having trouble finding some schools of fish, so we decided to paddle our way to shore. The little bug occasionally scanning the bottom for any signs of life. And once we got close enough to the break, I decided to push her into an express wave back to shore. Back on the beach with an extremely low tide, we decided to walk on down and check out the tide pools of the fallen cliff rocks. There were plenty of anemones and sea slugs for us to poke around at. There were also plenty of clumsy hermit crabs shaking the scene, as well as a handful of sketchy caves. Being brave, we decided to explore these nearby rocks, and we're in for a big surprise. I pushed the little bug into a couple novelty waves. Then Dad pushed our way back from the rock to the tide pools to continue our journey. Finish things off by showing some love to this baby crab and putting him right back in his same little happy mossy spot. It's important to always show love and respect for these happy little critters, so we headed back to our spot under the pier where things were looking pretty homey. And with everyone settled back in on the sand, I headed back on out to hit the surf. With all of us feeling the exhaustion of a heavy surf sesh, we headed down to the House of Pizza for a large pepperoni to devour on the way home. Fully stoked we survived another day in the ocean. Every surf trip is an adventure.